How's it going? So today, the camera I want to talk to you about is this right here. This is the Sony a5100, and it's together with the kit lens, the 16 to 50 power zoom kit lens. And I've had quite a weird history with this camera. So I bought this camera back in 2016, winter of 2016, and the reason why I bought it was because at that time, I wanted to be a life in Japan vlogger. Just like Abroad in Japan or Charmeleon, if you know those YouTubers. They're very popular foreigner YouTubers in Japan, and I wanted to be like them. So I had no knowledge of photography or videography at that time. So pretty much the only things I was doing was comparing the cameras I saw at the electronics shop. Does it take video, and does it have a flippy screen? Those were pretty much my my main things to look at. As also the budget, that was it within budget, which I think I purchased this for about 70,000 yen, maybe on the high end it was 70,000 yen. I don't remember exactly, but remember this is 2016 prices at brand new at an electronics shop. So I think nowadays, if I go into Mercari, for example, or Yahoo Auctions and try to look for the same setup, I think I could find it for about 20,000 yen, maybe around there. So definitely, I feel like I overpaid for this camera, and especially at that time, since I didn't know anything about cameras or that kind of thing, I didn't know that there was a good value in buying used. So my thought was, if you buy used, it's not good, which is totally different from what I think now. But anyway, I bought this because I wanted to be a vlogger, and it was within my budget, and it had the flippy screen, and it could take HD video and 1080p or whatever. So I felt like it checked my boxes. So for a while, I did do those vlogging videos, and let me just show you some quick sample videos so you can see the quality of video and also audio in various situations. So now I am in Nakano, and what I'm going to do here is go to Nakano Broadway. And what's cool here is that if you know Akihabara, then you know Akihabara is pretty popular for anime and video game stuff. And imagine Akihabara, but with less crazy people and less maids, and you get Nakano Broadway. So here we go. Hey guys.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
So where are we, guys? Where are we?
Where are we, Maria?
Seeno Outlet Mall.
Seeno Outlet Mall.
Seeno.
Oh, it's so cold and it's so crowded. Oh, check out Godiva. I mean, yeah,
Godiva.
yeah. Here in Japan they say Godiva.
Godiva.
Godiva. Oh, something's happening. Look. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, so now that you know what the video and audio quality is like straight from the camera, you can kind of get a sense of what it's capable of. But anyway, when I stopped taking video with this camera, I stopped trying to be a vlogger. I wanted to learn more about photography. So I watched various videos, and I learned the basics of the exposure triangle, and I wanted to apply what I learned into using this camera. So what I did was, turn on the camera. So at that time I was shooting automatic mode, and that's pretty much what I was doing only, because I had no idea about anything else in the mode dial, the PASM, all that stuff. I had no idea. So I pretty much always shot it in, let's see, intelligent mode or whatever, the green camera icon, whatever. Yeah, I was only using the intelligence shooting mode. So when I tried to learn about the exposure triangle, I set it up to manual. So what I learned about this camera, how to really adjust the different aspects of the triangle, is that, so of course it's the dial. So right now I actually don't know what it's set to. So it looks like it's the shutter speed. So moving this dial changes the shutter speed, okay? So I was trying to learn, okay, how do you adjust the other parts? The aperture or the ISO. So I learned that to change the aperture, so it's the same part of the wheel, but you just press down. Okay, so you change the aperture at this point. And if you want to go back to shutter speed, down again, and go back to shutter speed. So how do you go to ISO? What you got to do there is a different part of the wheel. So press right, and then you have to navigate through here to get whatever you want. And for me at that time, I just could not grasp that. I could not get used to turning the wheel, pressing down or pressing right, and adjusting those settings again, wheel, and pressing a different button to change something else. I could not get that. And I feel like that was just a struggle for me. I'm sure other people can pick this up easily and learn how to navigate through everything. But at that time, I just could not get it. And now that I know, in 2023, now that I know more about photography and more about how different cameras adjust those different settings, I can kind of understand how to use this now. But at that time, I couldn't figure it out at all. And I was getting really frustrated. And also, I wanted to manually focus. So, or maybe like adjust focus. So, you know, half press gets the autofocus going. And then I thought that moving the wheel here on the lens would adjust focus. But by default, it zooms the lens, which really frustrated me, because why would it zoom the lens? But there's also a lever here to adjust the zoom. And also, of course, on here, it's got the zoom control here. So why do I have three different things to control zoom? And I just could not figure out manual focus at all. And at that time, I just really gave up on this camera. So I stopped doing video. I was really frustrated with using this for photography. So I ended up giving this camera to my mother-in-law. And she's had it for, let's see, it's now 2023. So she's had it for about 6 years. And then it wasn't until this year in the summer that I noticed that, oh, she still has it. But I asked if she's using it, and she wasn't. So now that I know about photography a little bit more, I asked if I could, you know, get it back and try to use it to, I guess, better, with my better knowledge of photography, can I use it and more efficiently? So I got it back, and now after learning about the different menus and adjusting those settings, I learned that you can change the wheel here to be manual focus instead of the power zoom, which I thought was a big relief. And I went out to use this camera, and I tried doing the changing the aperture and the shutter, and I think I got used to using this camera only because of using other makers' cameras also. For example, the Olympus pen light EPL3. That also uses a sort of similar system where you just got to use the wheels to adjust the settings. And for me, using the wheels, like, I'd rather have actual dials for different things, such as Fujifilm, which is what I learned photography on. I learned on Fujifilm because it's got the shutter speed dial at the top, and then the lens has the aperture control, and then the ISO is just in the quick menu. It's all very simple and easy access, and you can see what each thing does as you change it. But this one, I feel like going to a different menu, change, go to a different menu, change again. I feel like it's such a hassle, and for a beginner trying to understand photography, I feel like it's very cumbersome. It's very difficult to get used to. But like I said, some people can just easily do it, and that's totally fine. But for me, it was very difficult. So I went out and was using this, and then after a while, I realized that maybe one of the biggest gripes that I have with this is actually the lens. I think the fact that it's a power zoom lens and using the ring to manually focus, I feel like if the lens had an aperture control on it, and then if I change the camera itself to, for example, shutter priority, I think it would be much more comfortable for me to use, because I really don't like having to change menu, like change your settings through a menu, and it really bugs me. But I think if I have something with an actual aperture control on the lens, that'd be much better. But as it is right now, I think it's okay. It's an okay camera to use, especially with this current setup. I think it's okay because I learned photography through other cameras. But if you're trying to jump into photography, just this camera as your first one, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to learn unless you're doing automatic intelligence shooting mode only, because it's just too complicated to see how each aspect of the triangle adjusts and changes what you see or what the image will be. So anyway, I feel like that's all I really want to talk about today. I just wanted to share my experience of this camera before and now, and it's not really a review. I just wanted to share exactly my thoughts on this. So I apologize if I've been rambling too much, because I just have a bad habit of doing that. But anyway, I plan on talking about another camera, another Sony camera, very soon after this. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. I think this might be the first time in a while that I'm saying to subscribe to my channel, but my goal is before December 2024 to have over 500 subscribers. So I know that's a lot of time, but I don't know if I can get those subs, so I hope. Anyway, let me stop talking, and I will let you go. So see you around.